Vernon Charles Music, Episode 1. This is about working with creativity musically within yourself. Um, I don't see a lot of information or people doing this much, uh, say on YouTube or anywhere these days. Much the state of art, music, uh, just seems to be, boy, a rehash fest for many years now. Um, and I don't really subscribe to that idea. I think that it's well worth a person's time to sit with their creativity. So that's what this episode is geared towards. A lot of stuff enters the mind, of course, to try to put this into words, but I'm going to explain how the process works within myself. At the very core of it all, there's a couple of things to start with, or at least I do. Everybody's different, but this is how my gift with music or talent works. There's two things. There's music, which is something other than myself. And then there's me. The musical talent or gift is the ability to perceive that on some level and kind of, engage with that. And I find that that's the true joy of creativity, or where the point at where creativity takes place. I think that's the real, that's where it's going on, kind of a thing, for me anyway. Ideas like you can think of an idea, you can have an emotion, not an extreme emotion, but something that stands out. It's like, well, what is that? And maybe you'll think of a song. And within that, it's worth paying attention to that. And that's where ideas are born, I find. There's no particular order to it. It's idea and then music, music and then an idea, emotion, and then, and I just let it take place and kind of observe it. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes some neat things come out of that. So I have an example that I'd like to use to illustrate this process. See if it resonates with anybody. And I guess more recent, maybe my latest, I'm not sure. They come, they go. But I was feeling somewhat melancholic or reflective or something to that effect for a while. And I was like, well, what would that sound like? So grab the guitar or whatever instrument you desire. And I just started kind of throwing my hands around and, E, B, kind of that bluesier zone sounds. And anyway, this kind of popped out. And I was like, wow, that's pretty close to how I'm feeling, right? So, all right, that kind of sets the stage. Well, what would come after that? Well, all of a sudden, I'm kind of seeing like flashes of like a movie scene, some old movie, some old like Southern movie or something. So I continued with that. like, man, all right. So now I've established a pattern and kind of a tempo. Where should it go after that? How do I round that out or kind of take this thing on a journey? Well, it'd be nice to kind of flesh that out a bit. So I grabbed the E chord. All right. Well, now we've arrived at a point again. I kind of feel like doing that again. And kind of, I don't know, I guess set up another point. So now I feel I've established a stepping off point again to kind of let's rev this thing up a bit. And at this point, I'm building up to something, not quite sure, but I want it to be like fairly big and rhythmic and get a song going. Yeah. So, all right, let's stick with this for a bit. I arrived at that point and I thought, well, kind of get that low down, dirty street vibe kind of thing. And it feels good to me. So I'll kind of stick around in there a little bit. Now, there's a kind of an excitement or anticipation, which are very useful tools. Tension and resolve, play a counter mood to what you're playing already, something opposite. So I thought, it would be nice. There's a bit of a shock value in there. So this is what I came up with. And kind of a big finish, like a bow or something on stage. Now groove in that part before in G. So, kind of another groove or something. It's like a dance or a segue, just a cool spot to play. So I, of course, in E now. Now, that kind of finishes the loop. I've went around a little bit of a trip, a journey through some spaces. How do you end this thing? Well, I sure like how it started, so I'm going to use that style, sixth or something, I believe. And I'm going to take it out that way. Slightly jazzy touch to it. And that'll be it for now, right? Just to get a complete cycle of ideas into one song, I guess. So this is what I did. Now, to me, that's a complete idea. And at least it's a good reference for the future. If you want to present that to other musician friends, bandmates, whatever. And I'll typically say that idea, take it into a DAW of your choice, and flesh it out with some drums. And if you play other instruments, it just opens up all the doors for lead work, alternative rhythms. Right away I'm hearing like a Hammond or whatever, Fender Rhodes, I guess, all kinds of things. Sky's the limit. That's the beauty of creativity and finding that within yourself, because no one has to tell you what feels good. Explore that within yourself, because that's the name of the game. So I'll play the song in its entirety now to take out the video. This is my first episode. I'm green as grass. Any comments would be welcome. I'd like to continue trying to do this. And I guess at the core of it, I'm just trying to maybe shed some light on a bit of a lost art these days. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.